Okay, so now we're reading about Commander Suni Williams, and as we read through, it says to think about, like, who is this person? Why is she famous? What details is the author sharing? So anything I think is, like, important or interesting that tells me who Commander Suni Williams is, I'm going to underline. And then it also says to underline the quote in paragraph 3, so I'm even going to do that right now. So you can underline this quote in paragraph 3. And then as you move through, you're going to just underline anything that you feel like tells you about why she's famous. Okay? As a 5-year-old, she watched Neil Armstrong's fascinating moonwalk on television, thought that's what I would like to do, while she never thought of walking on the moon as a realistic career goal, so we know she does something like an astronaut. Her story proves that we can't always know where the path is going to lead us. If we believe in ourselves, though, we'll end up in the right place. This is like a good lesson that it tells us. Williams' career path was far from predictable. She says she was just an okay high school student. Because her brother had gone to the U.S. Naval Academy, she was drawn there too. She graduated and became a Navy helicopter pilot. All right. But that's not what she does now. Listening to a former astronaut talk about flying a helicopter as preparation for flying the moon landing gave her like a light bulb that went off in her head. It dawned on her that helicopter training could be her ticket to space. She realized the only one who's telling me I'm not going to be an astronaut is me. So I wonder if she must have become an astronaut. Eventually trained to become a member of the International Space Crew. Awesome. So I'm going to underline that because it says, why is she famous? All right, and what details do they want to share? Now, I just learned that she was a helicopter pilot. That's important. And I learned that she believed in herself, right? Her story proves that we don't know where our path is going and that we can believe in ourselves. It seems like the author wants us to really realize that as middle school students now. Okay? Another first, she ran the Boston Marathon on a space station treadmill. Wow. She believes there's a message for young people in learning about twists and turns that led to her adventure, right? Maybe you want something but you get something else and things can work out anyway. That seems like another lesson. So any kind of lesson where it says it's a message for young people, they want you to learn, this is what they're hoping for. Any of that you want to make sure you underline. Okay, it says reread paragraph 1, find and star a sentence that gives the central idea, and underline the details. So it looks like we already underlined the details, but we definitely can star the main idea. So while she never thought of the moon as a realistic career goal, her story proves we don't always know where the path is going to lead us. So however you make your star, that star goes where the lesson where we don't always know where life is going to lead us. Be a very tiny star. We don't always know where life is going to lead us. All right. Now we can read through and figure out, we know that it's saying her career path was unpredictable and that it's not always easy, but that she definitely made it work. So the kind of thinking about that, now we can try to figure out which sentence best captures the central idea of the biography. So career paths are not always easy to identify and follow. Definitely could be that. She did not face any challenges in her career. No, she faced a lot of challenges. So we can already cross this one out. The career path chosen by her was very predictable. It actually says in the text that it was extremely far from predictable. So that's the opposite. We'll definitely cross that out. And then people should never change their career path. Well, she changed her career path multiple times, so that's not what she would want us to learn. So really the best answer will be A. Which sentence captures that second central idea? They give us a hint, which is always important. Which sentence tells us something that Williams, it says something about how she was not believing in herself, right? The second idea is maybe she wasn't so much believing in herself, but then she learned how to believe in herself. So as I go through this, she says she was just an okay high school student, maybe. And then it dawned on her that the helicopter training could be her ticket into space, but that's not about her not believing in herself. That's just something that she thought about. The only one who's telling you I'm not going to be an astronaut is me. That's even stronger than just saying you're an okay student. It's like she didn't believe in herself to the point where she was the only one telling her she couldn't do something. So I think that's probably going to be it. I'm going to highlight it, but I'm going to check D just in case. She eventually trained to become a member of the International Space Crew, where she served as a flight engineer and set a new record for women in space. Okay, that's not about her not believing in herself. That's her career path. So it can't be that. So C would be our strongest answer. Okay, describe one central idea about her life and list 3 details that support this idea. So the central idea is kind of what we starred. So you don't always know where your path is going to lead, but you still end up in the right place. One central idea is that about Suni's life. I got to make sure I keep everything. Williams' life that was important was that even though she didn't know where her life was going to lead, she still landed in the right spot. Okay, so life is it's kind of saying like life is unpredictable. So even though she didn't know where her life was going to lead, she still landed in the right spot. She wanted other kids to know that this could happen for them too. That is why. So now they need 3 details. The first detail was that she was an okay student, and we have to say okay in quotes because they did too, student in high school. The second detail was that they said her career was far from predictable. Yeah. So right here is far from predictable. Okay, the second detail was that her career was far from predictable. The third detail, because they want 3, was that it showed that Suni, what did she do? What did she accomplish? Even though she was an okay high school student and her path was far from predictable, even with all of that, she still eventually trained to be on the space station crew. She trained and got on the International Space Station crew. These details, so yeah, now the last sentence you always do, like here's the central idea, here's the 3 details, now we have to connect them, okay? So these details connect to the central idea because even though her path wasn't always known, she was still able to land in the right spot as an astronaut, right? She found the career that she liked. She found out what she wanted to be just by going this different route. So if you're going a different route, if it's unpredictable to you, it's okay because you still can end up in the right spot. So all of that can be our response, and the good part is that it fits perfectly. We're just making sure we spelled everything correctly. We're going through astronaut. Yep. Okay. So talking about Martha Graham is going to be another video. So we'll stop this one and then go on to Martha Graham after you finish about Suni's life.